Have you ever noticed how some people seem to flip the switch on their lives, almost like magic? One day they're stuck in struggle, uncertainty, and excuses. The next, they're thriving, clear, focused, in control. It's like they go from victim to victor in a flash. How does that even happen? Let me tell you something most people never realize. It all starts with a decision, not a hope. Not a casual "I'd like to," not a half-hearted wish. A real decision. The word decision comes from the Latin root meaning to cut off. Because when you truly decide, you eliminate all other options. You don't keep a backup plan. You don't leave the back door open. You burn the boats. Commit completely. That's what real change demands. But here's the truth. Most people never make that kind of decision. They say, "I'd like to be successful," but they don't. Commit to making success the only acceptable outcome. They say, "I hope to get my finances in order," but they don't decide that financial freedom is non-negotiable. They say, "I should probably get healthier," but they never decide that vibrant health is essential for their future. The other hand, the few who do decide fully, boldly, and without turning back, they're the ones who transform, the ones who make quantum leaps. They're the ones who, months or years later, can look back and point to the exact moment when everything changed. What if that moment is today? What if this is the day you draw a line in the sand and say, "From this point forward, everything changes"? Because today, you're going to discover a plan, a 21-day challenge that could set the foundation for the rest of your life. Now, you might be wondering, why 21 days? What's so special about that number? For decades, we've heard that it takes 21 days to build a habit. Modern science says it's not always that simple. Some habits may take longer, some less. But here's what we do know. 21 days is powerful. 3 weeks is short enough to stay intensely focused, yet long enough to create real, noticeable results. It's enough time to push through the early resistance, to build momentum, to start seeing changes that make going back to your old patterns feel unthinkable. Imagine this. 21 days from now, you could be standing on entirely new ground. Not fully transformed. True mastery takes time, but clearly on a new path, with new habits, new mindsets, new possibilities. This is more than a challenge. It's the beginning of your life by design. And before we dive into the plan itself, there's something important you need to understand. Success is not accidental. It's architectural. Most people spend more time planning a weekend getaway than designing the life they actually want to live. Is it any surprise they end up in places they never meant to go? Let this sink in. If you don't design your life, someone else will do it for you. Guess what they've got planned for you? Not much. So let's flip the script. Let's become architects, not wanderers. Creators, not passive consumers. Let's use these next 21 days, full intention and purpose. Because here's the core truth. You don't get better by chance. You get better by change. Specific, intentional, consistent change. And that's exactly what our 21-day success plan is built to deliver. It stands on 5 unshakable pillars. 1. Mindset transformation, because every external change starts internally. 2. Goal setting and strategic planning, because dreams without plans are just wishes. 3. Daily disciplines, because success isn't a one-time event. It's built in your habits. 4. Environmental design, because you can't fly with eagles while hanging out with turkeys. 5. Accountability and measurement, because what gets measured gets improved. Each of these 5 pillars will guide you step by step over the next 21 days. It's helping you build a foundation so strong that success becomes inevitable. And now, let's break down how it all works, starting with pillar 1, transforming your mindset. Ready? Now that you understand success doesn't happen by chance, it happens by design, let's begin building from the ground up. And that starts with the most important foundation of all, your mindset. This is pillar 1, mindset transformation, because before you can change your reality, you must first transform how you think. Your mind is the most powerful tool in your personal universe. It can be your greatest ally or your most relentless saboteur. Over the next 21 days, we're going to make sure it works for you, not against you. Day 1 is about awareness. Today, become a quiet observer of your own thoughts. Start noticing the mental patterns that run on autopilot. How do you talk to yourself when no one's listening? What assumptions do you make about what's possible? For you, don't judge, just observe. I call this standing guard at the door of your mind, because most people, they leave that door wide open. Doubts, fears, limitations, excuses, any thought walks in uninvited. But starting today, you become more selective. You decide what stays and what gets kicked out. Day 2 is about elimination. Now that you're aware of your thought patterns, it's time to clear out the clutter. Identify the 3 most limiting beliefs you hold about yourself or your potential. Write them down then, right next to each one. Write a new empowering belief to replace it. For example, if you've been telling yourself, I'm terrible with money, replace it with, I'm learning to master my finances, and I make smarter financial decisions every day. Day 3 is about installation. Now that you've created your new beliefs, it's time to program them into your mind. Read them aloud, first thing in the morning, and again before bed. Say them with emotion, with conviction, as if your future depends on it, because it does. Remember, repetition is the mother of skill. What you repeat becomes what you believe. What you believe becomes what you act on. And what you act on ultimately creates your life. Days 4 through 7 are all about reinforcement. Each day, actively look for proof that supports your new beliefs. It doesn't matter how small. Maybe you skipped an impulse purchase. Maybe you had the courage to speak up. Maybe you took just one step closer to your goal. Celebrate that progress, no matter how tiny. Because progress builds belief, and belief fuels transformation. By the end of this first week, you'll have already started rewiring your thinking. And that shift in how you see yourself, it can change everything. Now that your mindset is beginning to align with your potential, it's time to get crystal clear on where you're going and how you're going to get there. Let's move into Pillar 2, goal setting and strategic planning. Day 8 is about vision. Today, craft a compelling, specific vision for your life. Not vague hopes, but clear, detailed images of the future you want to create. What do you want in the areas of your health, your relationships, your career, your finances, your personal growth, and your contribution to the world? Write it all down. Use the present tense as if it's already your reality. See it, feel it, believe it. This vision becomes your North Star, just for the next 21 days, but beyond. Day 9 is about goals. Take that vivid vision and break it down into 3 to 5 specific, measurable goals for the next 90 days, not 10 or 20. Too many goals will only scatter your focus. Choose the few that will move the needle the most. And remember, the true value of a goal isn't just in what you get, it's in who you become while chasing it. Day 10 is about strategy. Now that you have your goals, define the critical moves for each one. What are the 2 to 3 key actions that will drive the biggest progress? Keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate the plan. Some of the most effective strategies are also the clearest. Day 11 is all about implementation planning. This is where goals become reality. Break your strategies into weekly and daily actions. Get specific. What will you do? When will you do it? Because here's a truth most people ignore. What gets scheduled gets done. People don't fail because they lack dreams. They fail because they never map those dreams into a concrete plan that ends today. Your plan is your bridge from where you are to where you want to be. And now that your mindset is shifting and your plan is in motion, it's time to talk about the engine that drives long-term results. Let's move into Pillar 3, daily discipline. Because small actions performed consistently are what create massive transformations. Now that you've created a clear plan and developed intentional daily disciplines, it's time to protect your focus, because no matter how strong your goals are, they can't survive in a chaotic environment. That brings us to day 15, and it's all about eliminating distractions. You can't manage time, you can only manage yourself. And one of the smartest ways to do that is to decide in advance how you'll spend your hours and your energy. Start by identifying your top 3 distractions, those things that constantly pull you away from what really matters.
It beats.
Social media. Maybe it's endless scrolling. Maybe it's saying yes to things that should be a no. Now create clear, specific strategies to eliminate or minimize each one. That could mean turning off notifications, setting no interruption blocks of time, or having tough but necessary conversations with people who constantly demand your attention without respecting your boundaries. Whatever it takes, commit to creating an environment that supports your focus, not one that constantly steals it. Which brings us to pillar 4, environmental design. Your environment, physical, social, and informational, either pushes you forward or holds you back. Let's design it to serve your success. Day 16 is about your physical environment. Today, take time to reorganize the spaces you use, most your home, your office, even your car. Remove the clutter. Create space for clarity. Place visual reminders of your goals and vision where you'll see them every day. Whether it's a sticky note on your mirror or a desktop wallpaper with your mission, make your space a daily reminder of what you're working toward. Because here's the truth. Your outer world reflects your inner world. A messy space breeds a scattered mind. But a clean, intentional space creates mental clarity and calm. Day 17 is about your social environment. Take a close, honest look at the 5 people you spend the most time with. Are they lifting you up or pulling you down? Are they inspired by your growth or threatened by it? Are they encouraging your progress or keeping you in your comfort zone? Sometimes becoming who you're meant to be means creating a little distance from people who aren't going where you're going because you can't fly with eagles. If you keep scratching the ground with turkeys, day 18 shifts focus to your informational environment. Be aware of what you're feeding your mind every day. What books are you reading? What podcasts are you listening to? What news are you absorbing? What conversations are shaping your mindset? Filter out anything negative, limiting, or distracting. Instead, fill your mental space with wisdom, encouragement, and ideas that align with your goals. Remember, garbage in, garbage out, but quality in, quality out. Your mind is being programmed every single day by the inputs you allow. Take control of that programming now. We enter our final pillar, pillar 5, accountability and measurement. This is where things really start to stick, because what gets tracked gets improved, and what gets shared is done. Day 19 is about establishing accountability. Today, choose someone you trust, someone who believes in you and won't let you off the hook. Share your goals with them. Ask them to check in with you. Set up a schedule to regularly review your progress weekly, bi-weekly, whatever works. Just the act of declaring your commitment out loud can radically increase the likelihood that you'll follow through, and knowing that someone will be checking in. That's powerful motivation. Day 20 is all about measurement. Create a simple system to track your progress. It doesn't have to be fancy. A journal, spreadsheet, checklist, or tracking app will do. What matters isn't the format. What matters is consistency. Track your goals, your daily disciplines, your habits. It will help you identify patterns, adjust faster, and celebrate even the smallest wins. Because when you track your progress, you make your success visible, and that visibility keeps the momentum alive. Day 21 is about review and recalibration. Today, take a step back and look at your past 3 weeks. What worked? What didn't? What habits served you on? What needs to be refined? Use these insights to design your next 21 days. This isn't a one-time sprint. It's a cycle act. Reflect, adjust, repeat. That's how small efforts compound into massive, lasting transformation. But here's the real magic behind this. 21-day planets, not just the actions themselves. It's how they work together to spark a powerful ripple effect. That ripple is called the compound effect. This plan works not because of one single step or breakthrough moment, but because of how small, consistent actions done with intention build on each other over time. Just like money grows through compound interest, so do your daily efforts. Small, smart choices done consistently over time. That's how change becomes transformation. Think about this. If you improve by just 1% each day, in 1 year you won't just be 365% better, you'll be 37 times better. That's not a typo, that's math. That's the exponential power of daily improvement. But here's the catch. Compounding works both ways. Small, poor decisions made consistently also multiply. And instead of growth, you get erosion. Instead of momentum, you get chaos. Instead of fulfillment, regret. Often the difference between a successful life and a stagnant one comes down to tiny, repeated choices. What you focus on, what you eliminate, what you build upon. These next 21 days are about turning the right choices into automatic habits, habits that will quietly, steadily transform your life in the background, even when you're not thinking about them. But before you get too comfortable, let me warn you, you will face 3 enemies during this process. And if you're not prepared for them, they'll quietly derail everything. The first enemy is doubt. As you start this journey, a voice will whisper, "This won't work for you. You've tried before and failed. Your situation is different." That voice is lying. The principles of success are universal. They don't work for people who are lucky. They work for people who work them. The second enemy is impatience. We live in a world of instant gratification. We want results yesterday. But meaningful change takes time. And during this journey, there will be days when progress seems invisible, when it feels like nothing is working. That's the moment when most people quit. Don't. When you can't see the fruit, keep watering the roots. The third enemy is inconsistency. Most people don't fail because they chose the wrong path. They fail because they left the right one too soon. They start strong, then life happens. They fade, they forget, they fall into the all-too-common pattern. Excitement gives action, gives discomfort, gives doubt, gives quit. But you're different. Your commitment to this 21-day journey must be non-negotiable. Whether you feel motivated or not, whether it's convenient or not, whether you see instant results or not, you follow through. That's the difference maker. And here's the deeper truth. These 21 days aren't just about achieving external goals, they're about becoming the kind of person who can achieve any goal. You're not just checking off tasks, you're shaping your identity. There are 2 ways to approach growth. One is to focus only on outcomes, what you want to achieve. The other is to focus on who you're becoming along the way. I recommend the second, because when you become a person of value, integrity, and capability, the results, they take care of themselves, and more importantly, your happiness doesn't depend on reaching a certain milestone. It comes from knowing you're growing, you're showing up, that you're becoming someone you're proud of. These 21 days are an investment in your character. It's not just your performance. They're a declaration that you're taking ownership of your life's direction. This is about becoming more so that you can give more to your work, your relationships, your future. But what happens after the 21 days? How do you keep growing once the challenge is over? We uncovered a vital truth. These 21 days are not the finish line, they're the foundation. Now it's time to look back with clarity, forward with boldness. Take a moment right now to reflect on how far you've come. Think about the mindset shifts you've made, the habits you've built, the discipline you've practiced. That's not nothing. It's transformation in motion. Take pride in your commitment. You showed up. You followed through. And even if you stumbled, you got back up. Now it's time to assess this new foundation you've created. What's working beautifully? What still needs refining? What's missing? Use those answers to shape your next move. Set new challenges. To use the momentum you've built to aim even higher, stretch further. Reach for goals that matter deeply to you. And here's something powerful to consider. Share your journey. Teach what you've learned to someone else. There's no better way to reinforce your own growth than to guide someone else on their path. Teaching multiplies. Transformation, then. When you're ready, Repeat the process. Maybe it's time to launch a fresh 21-day focus, whether in a new area of your life or to deepen what you've already begun. Because real success is not a one-time event. Success is not a matter of chance. It's a matter of choice. It's not something you sit around and wait for. It's something you work for with intention, discipline, and consistency. And now, the moment has arrived, the one that defines everything that comes next. This is your decision point, will all. Of these ideas, these tools, these insights, stay as information? Or will they become action? Will they collect dust in your mind? Or will they shape the next version of your life? The truth is, the gap between knowing and doing is wider than the gap between not knowing and ignorance. Many people know exactly what to do, but few actually do what they know. Will you be different? Here's the challenge. Commit fully. Not halfway. Not I'll try. But with unwavering, non-negotiable commitment. Print out this plan. Block the next 21 days in your calendar. Tell people what you're doing. Remove temptations and distractions in advance. Set up your environment to support your goals. Do whatever it takes to make sure that 3 weeks from now, you can look back with pride, not regret. Because here's what you need to remember. You already have everything inside you. You have the intelligence. You have the drive. You have the ability to learn, grow, and become someone new. What you may have been missing until now was a path, the commitment to walk it no matter what today. You have both. Just 21 days. That's it. The days will pass anyway. Time will. Move forward, whether you act or not. So the only question is, will you move forward with it? Will you be better, stronger, more focused, more alive, more aligned with your dreams? The choice, it's always been yours. But maybe today, right now, you finally see it with the clarity you've been waiting for. So choose boldly. Choose growth. Choose the extraordinary life waiting for you just beyond these 21 days. Because your new life is right here. And it starts today. And often, that choice is as simple as improving by just 1%. Because if you can improve by 1% and do it consistently, you can change everything. That's the beauty of progress. It's not about massive leaps. It's about small, intentional steps done over and over with purpose. And when consistency meets time, transformation becomes inevitable. Now, before we wrap up, let me leave you with something I call the ultimate success formula. It's a simple, powerful framework, one that has guided countless people from mediocrity to excellence. And now it's yours. Here it is. Step 1. Decide what you want. Not vaguely. Not, I want to be better. Be specific. Be clear. Be bold and courageous in your aspirations. Declare exactly what matters to you and why. Step 2. Take massive action. It's not just average action. Not a little bit when you feel like it. Go beyond what's expected. Do more than you think is possible. Step 3. Pay attention to feedback. What's working? What's not? Be brutally honest. No excuses. No sugarcoating. Clarity begins with truth. Step 4. Adjust your approach. Something doesn't work? Don't quit. Just change your method. Be flexible in how you get there, but unshakable in what you're aiming for. This formula works in any area of life: health, relationships, business, personal growth. It applies to your 21-day challenge and to the decades ahead. If you apply it with consistency, failure becomes nearly impossible. You may stumble, you may fail once, twice, or even 20 times. But as long as you keep refining, learning, and showing up, success eventually becomes unavoidable. And isn't that empowering? To know that success in any area that truly matters to you is within reach, not because you control everything that happens, but because you always control how you respond, your mindset, your decisions, your next move. Now let me ask you something deeper. What do you want your life to stand for? When your time on this earth comes to an end, what legacy will you leave behind? This isn't just a philosophical question. It's a practical one. Because your answer should guide how you live, not someday, but starting now. You see, success without significance is hollow. Achievement without purpose feels empty. Fulfillment comes from who you become, what you contribute. So as you continue implementing this 21-day plan, keep your legacy in mind. Let it guide your choices. Let it influence how you spend your time. Let it shape your daily disciplines. You're not just building a better life for yourself. You're creating a ripple, a wave of influence, a story that touches others, your family, your community, maybe even people you'll never meet. That's how true legacies are built, one choice, one habit, one day at a time, and it all starts here. These 21 days, they aren't just about change. They're about launching a future that could impact not only your world, but the world around you. So now let's bring this home, you and I. We've covered a lot of ground. We've talked about mindset, goals, habits, environment, accountability, compounding, character, purpose, but information without action. That's just theory. So let me ask you directly. Will you commit to this? Will you finally make the decision to transform your life starting right now? Not tomorrow, not next Monday, not when conditions are perfect. Because spoiler alert, they never will be. There will always be something, some excuse, some distraction, some delay. But there will also never be a better time than now. Right here, right where you are. Just 21 days. That's all it takes to set in motion new patterns that could shape the rest of your life. Will you give yourself that gift? Will you decide, truly decide, that the time for holding back is over? Because the truth is, the choice has always been yours. And today, maybe for the first time, you're ready to choose with clarity, with power, and with purpose. So here's what I want you to do. Take the first step, then the second, then the third. Before long, you'll look back from a place you once only dreamed of reaching, grateful you started, amazed by how far you've come, and inspired by how much further you can go. Remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and the journey to your best life, it begins with a single day. This day, I believe in you. Now it's time to believe in yourself. Your 21-day journey begins now. Your new life is waiting, and the rest is up to you. You've made it to the end. But this isn't the finish line. It's just the beginning. The habits, the mindset, the clarity you've built in these 21 days are your foundation for everything that comes next. So don't stop now. Keep going. Keep growing. Because the life you want starts today. If this message inspired you, don't keep it to yourself. Hit like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you never miss a breakthrough. And in the comments, tell me, what's the first step you're taking today? Your next level is one decision away. Let's go get it together.